I have so much energy around receiving and healing, and this journey, it's beautiful. I remember a while back when I would be getting a facial done, like paying at a spa to get a facial. And as soon as I'm starting to receive and it feels wonderful, my survival mode in my brain is hijacking the system, and the thoughts and that internal dialogue would look like this: hyper fixated on taking me out of the present moment so that I couldn't fully receive it, by this transactional energy where I would be thinking about people I love and what beautiful things I can do for them. And this is the discomfort around whatever it is energetically in the wounded spaces that kept me from feeling safe and worthy to have the capacity to experience a full and unbridled presence in that moment, to do nothing but receive the gift that I was experiencing at the time. I wasn't in that place then. I wasn't in that place then. The healing has continued. The healing has continued to arrive at this inner balance, this union where there is no division inside of my energy field. And the song Annihilate, my kids and I have been singing that all last night and this morning. And I love it. The chorus is on point. Amazing, right? I'm in my own world, give me space. I'm in my own universe, give me space. And then it says, fear is non existent. Um, excuse me, throat chakra energy coming up a lot today as I'm being called into my own reflection and truths and sharing of all of this journeying and this arrival home in this energy of having been carried home into the arms of my higher self and my spirit team, where there's just nothing but love here. And from this place, the amount of presence I am right inside of is blowing my mind. And this is the connection to receiving and peace. And I was just telling somebody, as we were talking about some very similar themes in one of my last sessions today, about how my healing journey has really been so beautifully synced and connected to my soul work, my mission, my profession, my business, this healing journey that I feel very much I am business partners with spirit. I am in collaboration with what it is I do every day for the people who are divinely aligned and brought into my space, into my office, to receive this integration, this wholeness, this homecoming energy. And so what I was saying was, I have been brought along. I was going to say had to, but that is not the right terminology. And so I am going to maybe demonstrate right now. Anytime where I'm using language that's coming from my humanist trying to understand it, that is going to constrict and contain or be limited, I will just correct it as I hear the corrections from spirit, if you will. So instead of saying I've had to, it's been soul aligned and part of this divine mission for me to walk this path in tandem of my own healing journey, as the growth and the expansion of my spiritual gifts and my healing business continues to just weave in and out and dance together in this harmony. It's a beautiful thing. So the healing that has happened for me, that just continues to happen and seems to be unending, is the analogy of spiritual ascension being the air balloons and the unhealed spaces, the division, the dualities, that are constricting, the fear, the control, all of these sandbags being slowly dropped in this divinely orchestrated way that is allowing the rise into my own authenticity to continue to expand. And as that's happening, the baseline frequency of my energy field is changing, lifting, becoming more coherent. And that's my radio. That's the frequency of the radio through which I'm able to have the communication with spirit. So, the way in which this is affecting the sessions I have with my clients is profound and beyond language, is what it feels. It is a gift that cannot be measured and cannot be contained. It is not just a gift for me. It's not just a gift for this person. The energy of that is just radiating. I'm blessed. I was sharing this. My own healing journey seems to very much have been a critical part of the recipe for me being able to do what I do for the people that I work with and what I love to do. It has required the unhealed spaces in me to heal. It's been a requirement. I know I would be able to do this to the degree that I'm able to do it to now if I was experiencing my own spaces of continued division, control, survival skill energy. That is all energy that closes down and contains my field. So when I was describing this, I use this language of in order to hold, in order to have the capacity to hold the amount of joy and awe and wonder and just miracles. And as I said that, I got the correction. I was like, oh, hold on, I'm being corrected on the word hold. It's not in order to hold. We see here the limitation of the way the mind from my human conditioned places, just immediately when we use that word there of in order for me to hold this, it is a density that is creating some fog and confusion. The language correction I got there was in order to have the capacity to experience, fully partake in, sit in presence with, and be a clear channel for the miracles and the healing that is happening here, my own inner work and healing and shifts in my frequency and cohesiveness of my energy field has been a inseparable part of this. I love it. In order to receive, everyone in the equation doesn't need to be in the energy of wholeness. That's outside of your control, right? You having done the healing and integration in a place of reclaimed wholeness and intrinsic worth that is matching or more closely matching the essence of your natural eternal soul frequency from this place of wholeness, you can feel safe to receive, even when the person who is on the other side of that equation has not arrived at that same level of wholeness. Your empowerment and your safety is coming from the recognition of the inner truth there and staying in the alignment and the center of that truth of your wholeness. And so if you have somebody that is carrying an energy where there's a lot of conditionality in the dynamics, a lot of transactional energy that you can feel or have felt in the past, around giving and receiving and taking turns of you give this, then you owe me this type of energy that can come from their own lack of intrinsic worth, their own deficits in feeling an unconditional love for self and a worthiness that is not measurable. And from that place, there's a lot of game playing, strategy, transaction, and you owe me type of energy when somebody is giving from an unhealed space where they are giving you the thing on one hand, and the other hand is their half of their missing worth. Let's say they're half full, half empty in terms of the healing work and the division that they're feeling that makes them feel half empty, right? And so when I give this to you, there's a pretense that is unspoken and energetic that I am giving from a place of seeking for you to take responsibility for the half of me that is not feeling whole. And so I need to be needed, and I like to be the giver because I want you to show me that I am loved and appreciated through conditions, right? Conditions. And this is not the same thing as expression of gratitude, of appreciation. When you feel indentured to somebody, or you begin to energetically feel your field and your body bracing, closing, getting uncomfortable, shrinking, getting smaller. We feel smaller. We feel like we're backed into a corner when we are about to receive something from somebody. This can be the attachment wound energy where we grew up in a dynamic like this, where it wasn't safe to receive, where indefinitely we felt the thing we received was going to somehow be wielded against us energetically, verbally, emotionally, physically, whatever way later on, right? When certain conditions rise up. And that energy itself can shift as you recognize when those triggers are coming up. Do the healing work to return to the truth of your wholeness. We do not have to close down in a protective mechanism. It's possible to receive from someone who may still carry the energy of seeking to prove their worth through overgiving in the dynamic. You can receive the gift that is meant for you, and with your wholeness energetically decline the invitation to carry responsibility for their sense of worth, right? And I'm going to look down for a minute because this is coming up where I want to say this, but I couldn't remember the language. I wrote it down from a session earlier. You don't have to work to be who you are. You have to work to be who you are not. And I think that energy of feeling like we're out of alignment and there's an efforting, there's a heaviness on the shoulders, there's a burden. When that comes up, when you're in a time of being meant to be receiving something, here's a sign that the separation of self and the attachment wound energy is pulling you into performance and constriction, and you have picked up the gift that they were intending to hand to you with a sense of responsibility for their worthiness, right? Other people's receptivity to my authenticity is not my responsibility. Boom, sandbag or 10 of them on that hot air balloon dropped. Other people's capacity and or receptivity to my wholeness and my authenticity is not my responsibility. Sometimes when you heal into the wholeness, you notice if there is any energy around you, my right ear is ringing, of resistance or discomfort with that. You may be triggering the unhealed spaces in other people around you through the wholeness and the healing that is creating a detachment of your sense of responsibility for carrying something that never belonged to you. And that can feel a little disconcerting to somebody else who was used to you carrying that for you, for them.